Hello ladies and gentlemen, CaptainShack here and welcome to No Man's Sky. A quick review and a discussion on what this game is and a little chat about expectations and context. When I got my hands on No Man's Sky, I was greeted with game-breaking issues on PC. A lot of you guys saw it on my first stream. This is a console port. Not every PC is having issues, and if you're lucky, yours runs just fine. On my PC, I had massive FPS drops every few seconds at completely random intervals. After much messing about and fooling around with the game, I finally got it working properly. Putting aside those technical issues for a moment, let's talk about what No Man's Sky is and what it does. Marketed as a game focused on exploration and discovery, the devs over at Hello Games kept things incredibly vague. Yet they constantly reinforced how rich the universe is due to the algorithms that generate it. Everything, ships, planets, atmospheres, wildlife, all generated by a computer. And for the most part, they nailed that aspect, better than any game we've seen. I've seen planets that are just drop-dead gorgeous, creatures that look out of this world, but it's at a cost. You see, after about your 5th planet, you'll quickly pick up on the base game mechanics, which is loot and upgrades and inventory management. Each planet has the same set of structures that will randomly spawn on its surface. The player flies around and finds these structures. Parts of them are randomly generated, but even from above the surface, sitting in my ship, I can spot an escape pod, a shelter, and I know, even though I've never set foot on this world, that inside that pod will be a suit upgrade. And that shelter will most likely have some variety of resource items or an upgrade to my multi-tool. I've never set foot on this planet, yet I've seen these items over and over in basically the same structures. Exploration. Woo! Don't get me wrong, I've lost myself for hours and hours, flying from planet to planet, star system to star system, but even just a handful of hours in, it was obvious what this game's main mechanics are: loot and upgrades. Combat isn't anything to write home about. Ground combat feels super clunky and uninspired, and so does space combat in a space sim-esque game. That's a killer. One has to give credit to Hello Games for designing a game around one single aspect of the classic space sim genre: exploration. It's hard to really compare No Man's Sky to any other space game out there. Elite, X3 Albion Prelude, Free Space are kind of close, but unlike most classic space sim titles that allow the player to play a role in a rich galaxy, No Man's Sky has you play one role: the explorer. Mechanics like trading or interacting with other factions are limited to the most basic of gameplay mechanics and are not in and of themselves ways of playing the game. If you know what I'm talking about, check out X3 Terran Conflict, where being a space trader and starting up your own starbase and watching the markets is a game mechanic in and of itself. In No Man's Sky, it is the bare bones of trading. Now, the worlds feel massive, but disconnected. From star system to star system, you never feel like this universe makes any sense. Take Freelancer or X3 or Elite or any of the classic space sim games. In these worlds, you can pull up a map and see where borders end and begin, where factions have their influence, where resources and political tensions could be mounting. This adds weight to the universe. It makes each star system feel connected. In No Man's Sky, the map is next to useless, other than a tool for the devs to tout their 13 bajillion planets and solar systems, yet none of these are connected in any meaningful way. When you see a fleet of large ships come out of warp, it always feels like a scripted event, and not factions making a move that are in their best interests. You have almost zero interaction with them as well, and you can't even tell what races controls these ships, or where they come from, because nothing is connected. There is no context for just about anything in the world. When the storyline really starts to shine in No Man's Sky is when you find snippets of text that add hints of context. What is up with this planet? What are the history of these ruins or the alien life forms that I've talked to? These are the moments that shine, but it's hard not to just dismiss this as randomly generated BS because the description it gives doesn't actually match the randomly generated planet or structure I'm standing in. Having a map that I can zoom out and see where I started and where I am, what territory I am in, and the greater story that's happening around me is what makes sci-fi novels and sci-fi games interesting. That allows us to tell our story in an established world. In No Man's Sky, it feels like I am living in the cover of a sci-fi novel. Sure, it's beautiful, but there's nothing really there that means anything to me. I can't actually read the book. Hello Games has, in my mind, succeeded in creating something different and special. They have focused on a mechanic that no developers had the brass ones to take on, and that deserves applause. But they're an indie developer with a small team, and this is their first space title. So I'm hoping this is the beginning of something better. It still leaves us with a feeling that this is just a stepping stone in the search for the ultimate space sim. I'm curious to know what you guys think of No Man's Sky. Did your experience reflect this or not? Did you discover something that I didn't and would change my point of view? Let me know in the comments below. I'm curious to see it. And as always, thank you guys for watching, and I'll see you next time.